Hello everybody, welcome back to Entertainment Talk on Twitch. I'm your host Matthew, and today I've got a very special surprise Twitch stream. Because I did announce that I was going to be streaming something in about an hour, but I didn't say what it was. And basically, we're going to go to the PlayStation Labo section of this game. This is Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5, which is free and pre-installed on the PS5. So we're going to go there. And for those of you like me that grew up in the 90s, you don't have to have been born in the 90s, but if you lived through that time period, you'll probably have a lot of nostalgia for all of this, really. We have in front of us 5 generations of PlayStation, which is awesome. And there's a lot to show you all, so I'm going to take my time with some of this and really just take in everything here. So as you can see, we got PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course PlayStation 5, which is what I'm using right now. Then we got the walls. I'll show all this stuff off in a minute. PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, let's jump straight in. What I'm going to do first of all, instead of diving into the glorious generation of PlayStation 1, let's show you all these things first of all. So this is the tech demo dinosaur thing from the PS1. I don't specifically remember I don't remember everything here, but I do remember quite a few things. So that's that, which is very, very cool. This is Ridge Racer. And they're obviously playing that, which is great. Then this is all of the tested PlayStation logos. The one on the actual Astro's face there is the one that they went with, the one that we all know. I'm not sure what that actually is. This of course is Spyro. Spyro's cool, and he does that as well, which is interesting. So that's your Spyro reference. These are one of my favourite things here. This is basically the setup of the PlayStation 1. So there's a few discs there. They do have, let's see if I can zoom this in, PlayStation 1 controllers with a PlayStation 1. And of course a big TV, which is great. I'm not sure what this is a reference to, but that's here as well. Then you've got a couple of just testing sort of screens. I'll show this off kind of separately. Let's just keep going around here. This is for the dance games that you could play. Pretty good games, pretty good stuff. Then of course you've got more testing screens. Then he's dancing next to a bunch of the symbols, which of course are the buttons, the action buttons. That's probably a buffering screen. I don't know what those are, but those are probably references to some sort of flying game. They're obviously doing that with the the symbols again, which is cool. Let me just double check that my mic isn't muted, because I have a weird feeling that it is. Okay, no, my mic is, yeah, my mic is working. It's happened before, I'm just double checking. Those are some more screens. This is a PlayStation 2, so similar thing to what we saw earlier. And that is the screen I'm used to seeing. We can actually zoom that in quite well. Very nice detail on these things. And then of course they're holding PS2 controllers with the PlayStation 2. I've got that one downstairs, that the bigger PlayStation. We'll be showing the consoles off properly in a little bit. Those had the blue backs of the disc. There's just more menu stuff. Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm showing off Astro's Playroom, the showcase room. This is the PlayStation Home symbol. Nobody really particularly remembers PlayStation Home, but it was alright. It was basically like a Sims type of thing. These are all the menus of the PS3/PlayStation Vita thing. So obviously you've got friends, games, music, photos, online, settings, and video. This is a reference to quite a good game starring Elliot Page, formerly Ellen Page. She was Ellen Page when she did the game. But yeah, that's called Beyond Two Souls, and the little blue lights there saying you could use telekinesis in the game, and that's a cool reference to that. Those are some PlayStation parts. That is Sackboy getting experimented on or something. So that's cool. Some more screens. This is the next one that we've got, which is a PlayStation 3 screen. They're playing that. Used to have my PlayStation 3. It's in the back bedroom at the moment though, because I needed to make way for the big old PS5. Those are some flowers with the symbols on. That I'm not sure what this is actually a reference to, but something involving bricks. Those are some more screens. This is the same thing with the PS4 thing that they're playing. That is of course the PlayStation Plus symbol. Those are some PlayStation bags. These are some trophies. So obviously you've got bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Oops, didn't knock that over. That is SingStar. Of course you've got the microphones there. He's obviously playing the full version of VR, which is with the Move controllers as well. I've done that many times myself. And this is the PlayStation logo. If you knock this off, you get the old logo. So that's very, very cool. That's a little Tamagotchi style PlayStation thing. No, I don't want to do that. So that's cool. I think that was a Japanese only thing, so I'm not familiar. And there you go, back to the start. Alright, let's go on to the best of the bunch really. I'm going to go PlayStation 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Now for some annoying reason, there's no settings menu on this game, because I was going to tone the music right down so that you could properly hear some of this stuff, but obviously this is the analog version controller, so that you can play games like Ape Escape. That's the one that you got, which was before it, which was the non-analog version. These are game cases, which is cool. These are the old memory cards. I don't know why there's two of them, but there is. I'm not sure what difference is there. This is a old PlayStation 1 disc. This thing is a PlayStation mouse, and I didn't know this existed until I found it on this game. So I don't know if there was some sort of PC games you could play, or I don't really know too much about them. These are of course small game discs. This is a it's called a multi-tap, I think, where you can obviously plug this into a PlayStation and you can have 4 controllers for like multiplayer games. And I'm going to save the best for last. This is another one of the Tamagotchi style things. And here is the best console ever released in my opinion, with some of the best games in the industry. This is the PlayStation 1. And if you listen carefully, I do wish I could make that louder, but I can't find any settings menus of any kind, which is very strange. But you'll see it in a bit more glory on this thing in a minute. Let's just turn it off. We can also pop open the disc. I remember, I don't know if you can all see, there is the little silver ball things there, and I remember with the old PlayStation 1 that we had, we lost one of them. It sort of can just pop out, and we couldn't use the PlayStation anymore. So yeah, but obviously got the back with the wires and whatnot. Then you've got this in all of its glory. This is the full PlayStation 1 intro or startup. That's just glorious. Like, there's in all of gaming, there's no better sound to me than that intro, and that will probably never be beaten. Comes with a lot of nostalgia, obviously, for me as well, but it's just, I don't understand why we don't have console startups anymore. And you'll hear the sounds of the others as we go through, but they just don't quite match up to some of the others. This is the PS2 disc, so obviously it's got a blue thing on the back, so it's pretty cool with that. I'll show the consoles off last in each of these sections. Here we've got the same, which is the DualShock 2. Not that much different to the DualShock 1. It's got the analogs and everything like that. That's still quite cool though. So that's good. Then we've got one memory card here. I don't know why we've got one there and two on the other thing, but there you go. These are the Sing Star remotes, which obviously you could use to play the singing games, and you can do that and that. This is something I never had. This is a network adapter for the PlayStation 2. I've never had one, never used it. This is the other multi-tap. I'm not going to jump on this and activate it because enemies come out and there's no need for me to do that. But it's the same thing, but it's 4 sides. I think the PS1 version of this is better. It just, you know, having it on the 2 sides is a bit more awkward, but anyway, that's quite cool. These are the Buzz controllers, which was for the quiz game. I did play that a couple of times at high school. It was quite fun. We didn't play it that much though, so there you go. Let's save the big one for last, and let's hear the PlayStation 2 sound. Okay, I couldn't excuse me, I couldn't hear the second part that happened. But you can just turn that off. You can open the disc. That's the one I've got in my room. I've actually got it, no, it's in the back bedroom actually, but I do still have my version of that. And we do have one of these downstairs as well. It's got one of the switches at the back, and you can actually climb on top of these, and you can actually do that. I think all of this is just unbelievably awesome, by the way, so there's also that. And let's give a quick climb over these. These are for obviously the PS3 and 4. These are for some of the Move games, which you can turn different colours. So that. You can jump on top of the PS5, there's no ladder for it, unfortunately. You can actually jump on top of it, but I haven't managed to do that yet. And you have to wait until the thinner end, which is on the left now, is facing towards you, so I may or may not try that in a minute, but whoops. Right, let's move on to, I want to close that, it's annoying me. Right, that was annoying me. PS3, the most expensive console, debuted at $600. I didn't buy one until much later. That was when I switched for some reason from PS2 to Xbox 360. But these are the PS3 discs, they're the Blu-ray ones. Obviously you can see, as we've gone through, the disc colours have changed. Yeah, sort of the white one and the blue one, then obviously the that colour for those ones. So I'm aware of this one. I never used it. This one I'd never seen until I saw it on this game, which is, yeah, it's a bit awkward in it, the way that slides. And in this one, it does that. So it basically works the same way. I think I remember, because this one in front of me is the slim version. I remember in my local game shop, this was a long time ago, I was at high school, and I remember they showed a poster for this, and I didn't read the poster properly. I was like, oh, is this like the PS4 coming out or something? But no, that's the slim version. Let's, can you hear that? Mm. The PS3, 4 and 5 intros are really not great compared to like the PS1 and PS2. I mean, the PS1's like the gold standard, the PS2 one's pretty good. The PS3, 4 and 5 are just noises as they turn on. It's not great. So yeah, that's that one. And then this is the one that I've actually got. It's quite shiny, isn't it? Yeah, this is the one that I've actually got. I've had to take it into the back bedroom. I've got like 2 consoles in that room. But we can climb this, which is cool. Oops. We get the kind of somewhat dull intro music. I do kind of like how you've got how will it turn on now? Oh, the blue light and the green light, so it tells you if there's a disc in there. It's kind of useful, I guess. Let me just turn that off, that's going to annoy me. Right, then we've got the PlayStation. Wait, did I show off the I missed one. The iToy camera, right, that was what I missed. So he's dancing in front of that. These were fine. iToy, probably a low point of the PlayStation 2. Yeah, it's not great. The games are fine, but like, yeah. This didn't do much better, the PS3 with the camera. The best use we've had out of PlayStation cameras is with the PS4 camera, because it allowed you to obviously play VR games. So he's obviously got a move controller there. You did have a move controller supported games on PS3 that weren't VR games. So that's where that technology kind of gets used. Then we have, this was the navigation controller. I don't have this one because I don't need it. I've never seen it in action. These ones I've got. These are what I use to play. There's 2 of these types of ones that you actually use to play VR games. There's one right next to me at the moment because it's on my chair for when I play VR games. These are little Vita cartridges, basically the same as the Switch ones. Then you've got the UMD, so these are obviously the games, the discs that you'd use for, I think those were for, yeah, those were for PSP, and then the Vita, yeah, the Vita you had these, and then the PSP you had these. I think you put them in the back of the, oh no, it was digital only. I didn't really get the PSP Go, didn't really get it. I'd have one of these. I have one of these. So yeah, but I got the PSPs were pretty good. They were pretty good. There's a tennis game I had on them that was quite good. A football game, God of War game that I had that was quite good. Let's just show. Whoops. Yeah, it even does a little intro sound. You can just tell, can't you, that like the PS1 had this glorious startup sound, and the PS2 one was pretty good, and then they just dropped all of it basically to little like notification type of sounds. This is the DualShock 3. Bit of an awkward controller. You can see, I don't know if you can all see the back of these triggers. It had like the slide things, as opposed to what I'll show you in a minute with the DualSense and the PS4 controller, or the DualShock 4. Not great. The PS3 controller was not great, and the analog sticks were weird, and yeah, I've got one right next to me actually as well. So yeah, this is I think this is the PSP microphone. These 3 PSP accessories I never got. I never needed, as I mentioned. You know, I did have a PSP. This is a camera for the same system. Never used it, and that is a was it a micro? This one's a microphone, this one's the camera, and this one's a GPS. Oh yeah, it says on it GPS. So you could turn your PSP into a navigation system. I don't know anybody that actually did that, but that was a thing. So yeah, that's all of those. The PS3 era I would label as clunky. Apart from PSP was good. This was when Sony was going obviously all in on handhelds, which they're not doing now. And then the Vita, which is clearly just the best of the bunch. Not only did it have 2 analog sticks, but it looks nicer as well. And actually it's kind of the same buttons on it. That's exactly what the menu looked like as well. The only problem you've got with the PS Vita is there's no triggers. There's only top buttons, and if you wanted to get, because R2 and L2 would be on the touchpads here, so you would touch that side and then that side for the buttons. Yeah, and then it was like £30 for the accessory for it. I didn't really understand that, but the PSP and the PS Vita I do like, but I've got more nostalgic memories of the PSP. So there we go, that's the PS3 era, and then obviously the Vita is still somewhat supported, but not greatly. Let's move on to a better era. I'm going to rank these in a minute actually, in terms of which is the better era so far. Obviously the PS5 one is a lot newer. Let's start off with, we've got 3 consoles again. So this is the PS4 camera. This isn't the version that I've got though. My one is round instead of this like rectangular square sort of shape. And it comes on a stand thing. I don't know if this probably had a stand as well, but this looks like something that you would put on top of your TV. Obviously the flat surfaces and that, a bit like you would do with the Wii Fit sensor thing that you could get, or the Nintendo Wii sensor that you could get. So I've never used this camera, but it looks basically exactly the same as my one, apart from it's just square instead of round. This is the PS4 Pro. I do not have one of these because I don't need one. That's the intro-ish sound thing. Yeah, you see what I mean about the intro's got a bit dull. You can't open the disk drive on this one for some reason. Yeah, that intro sound is boring. This is the PS4 Slim. As you can see, the power and eject buttons are there, the disc tray's here, etc, etc. You can't open the tray with that one. So that's the same thing, but just a bit slimmer. Then we've got the processor unit, which I've got one of those in front of me right now. I actually do have it connected to my PS4. Mine does look slightly different to this though. Where you've got the light here, mine is a little dot, so I don't know if it's different for like the American version. And then it's got 4 leads that you plug in, so 2 HDMI cables there, so for TV and then for PS4. A little bit awkward to set up, but does the job. And then you've got the other 2 plugs there. These are the plugs that go into these 2 slots are the ones that are actually from the VR headset. So basically you plug in these 2 HDMI cables, one into TV and one from your PS4, and then you plug in the 2 VR headset. It's like one wire, but then it's split off into 2 parts, but mine looks a bit different to that. Then we have the beast itself. You can't climb up that, that's quite annoying. Again, same boring boot up sound, unfortunately. Is there no... Can we get out of this? But this is what I've got on my shelf. It is, well, not on top of, but it's the next shelf up above my TV. It is plugged in but completely switched off because I do not currently need it. But yeah, that's the original PS4. Obviously, you got all the plugs there. So you got the power cable, network cable, HDMI thing, then the Ethernet. No, one of those is the other audio port, and then you've got the PlayStation camera slot as well. So there's that, and then this is the DualShock 4, so for the PlayStation. There's your headphone jack, which is cool. Then your PlayStation button, a touchpad, and then your very bright light bar, which is interesting. Triggers were similar to the PS3, but can you see how much more flat that is, as opposed to the like curved ones on the DualShock 3? So there you go. Then you've got this as well, which obviously the PSVR headset. I do have one right next to me, which I do like to use. And one really cool thing about this is that's obviously the system off and then on. The power button is underneath this light here, so it's at the bottom. And then obviously you rest that against your back of your head. And this is where you look into. And the footage in these, this is some of the details that I really like. The footage in these things here is from Astro Bot Rescue Mission, which is Astro's original game, which is very cool. But it's cool that they put that detail in, like they put the footage of the game in the headset, so that's really good as well. And then we have the big beast. I promise you, it's actually not. I think over the year or so when I didn't have a PS4, the whole sort of like, oh my god, the PS5 is massive. It's big, but it's not really that big. I mean, it's more sort of just a bit chunky, and because you've got these things poking out at the top, it makes it look a bit bigger. Because if you took, oh no, obviously you shouldn't. If you took these side plates off, which you can do, your PS4 will be so much slimmer. It's just mainly because of these white sideboard things that make it seem so much bigger. And then obviously you've got the slots at the back. You've got the 2 USB slots, Ethernet cable or LAN cable, HDMI power slot, and then they've got this at the front. I don't know if you can see that, but you've got the USB-C. That's the smaller slot there, and then obviously the slightly bigger one is a normal USB one, and then you've got your power and eject buttons, which are a bit hidden almost. They're a bit small, but it's still pretty cool. And then you've got, is that turning on? I can't tell if that's on or not. Got the blue light. That's weird. Anyway, the boot up sounds boring, so never mind. This is, which is what I'm holding right now, is the DualSense, the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller. It doesn't have a light bar, as you can see, but it does have the light around the outside of the touchpad, if I can show this properly. We've got this blue at the moment. Yep, this is what I'm holding right now, and it does that. It's obviously got the, if I can angle this right. This is a time when I'd actually could do with a photo mode, but this game doesn't have one. Headphone jack, and then you've got the microphone slot, and then you've got that little button to that one, which is to mute your microphone, which I can do in that. And then you've got the PlayStation button, your analog sticks, normal stuff, and then you've got your triggers. Obviously this comes with haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, all that fun stuff. So that's really good. And then obviously you've got your HD camera. I don't think that's compatible with PlayStation VR. I think it's just a normal camera if you want to stream or whatever. It's got a USB connector. And then here's your 3D Pulse headphones, which you don't need if you've already got headphones. And then, oh, I guess you can get a bit of a view here at the top. Whoops. So there you go. And obviously you got the blue light. Whoops. Got the blue light here when it turns on, and then it goes yellow when you turn it off. So that's all of that. Let's go to next. So that's all of the accessories and everything. And obviously got the controllers there. Got a couple more things to do. Let's have a quick look at, I think I showed everything here. We've got the art wall. So obviously you got 1994. I'm guessing that's supposed to be December 3rd. Obviously America switches the date around, or the day and the month they switch around. 1994. So I would have been May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I would have been, well, my birthday's on the 17th, so I wouldn't have gotten older in that month because that's the 12th and not 17th. So April, so May, June, July, August, September, October. Wait, sorry, I can't count. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So I was about, let's say, 6.5 roughly months old. So literally this thing came out 6 months after I was born. So obviously that's where a lot of my nostalgia and whatnot comes into it. Is that Bumper Fruit? Yeah, that's Bumper Fruit. That's a Crash reference. I haven't properly looked at this wall actually. So you got the PS1 dinosaur demo thing, you got the memory card. Not sure what all of this is supposed to be. 32 bits. Oh, there's the SCART cable things at the top. Do you remember those? I remember those. Well, I still have them. There's the PS1, the dates. I don't know what that is. That is Ape Escape. That's a Tamagotchi thing. That might be Crazy Taxi or Ridge Racer, that car. And then you got whatever spaceship that's for. The PS1 thing with the screen. I never had that screen thing, by the way. I think it made it portable-ish. And then you got the two controllers. Couch co-op. A duck for some reason in a tub. Symbols. I don't know what game that is. The big monster with the club thing and you with the sword. Or is that supposed to be PS2? That might be Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah, I think that's Shadow of the Colossus. Then, I don't know why it says AD 2000 and not the actual date, but there you go. And then 2004 for the PSP. The controller, the iToy camera, there's the tennis, then the slim PS2, so obviously got the big one, then the slimmer one, then the PSP with the UMD disc, with all the symbols, and then if we move over, 2006, doesn't say the date for some reason, but 2006, the big, fat, I guess PS3, with a few different games. Obviously they switched to HDMI cables, so that's what that is there. That's probably a SingStar reference at the top. Wireless controller, obviously that was a big deal. I actually specifically remember, I remember going into a HMV shop which got closed a long time ago, and I remember seeing, I didn't like watch reveal events or anything like that, and I remember going into a HMV and they were like, oh, coming this Christmas probably, was what that said. Here's an image of the PS3. And I remember looking at the front, and I remember my first impression was, okay, this thing's pretty big, but also, where do you plug in controller? I didn't realise it was wireless until obviously I didn't even get a PS3 until years later. My sister actually got a PS3, but I got an Xbox 360. So I think it's because like my high school friends all got Xbox 360s, and that's where my Call of Duty 4, I was going to say career, thing started, and obviously that's where I started playing COD. And then there was like the high school rivalry of like, oh, PlayStation sucks and Xbox is better and all this kind of thing, which was fun. more fun than what console was can be today. PSN, obviously the creation of that. PlayStation bags. PlayStation Home, which no one talks about anymore. There's the other PlayStations. 2011, the PlayStation Vita. I didn't get one until a long time later. I basically just missed the PS3 boat until much later, when I got one kind of recently actually. And then, yep, that's the PS3 era. Then we've got the PS4 with the DualShock 4 console. I'm not sure what that is a reference to. Not actually that many references there. But there's that, and then obviously 2016. Gosh, the thing's 6 is, gosh, the PSVR is 6 years old already. Still plays very well. But there's the PSVR, which obviously is compatible with PS4, and then a bunch of references to different games, not all of which I quite get. So there you go. Let's just go over to, for a second, let's have a quick look through this. So this gives us a better view. Of course, PlayStation, the greatest console of all time. That's the bottom of it. So this is where we can tilt things and look around a little bit more. We can zoom in. Now, I'm not a visuals person, never have been, probably never will be, but I do appreciate the visuals on this. This is something where you do need more detail. Parallel 1.0, I don't know what that is. But yeah, that's the PlayStation 1. The controller without the analog sticks. See, the triggers are well, they weren't really triggers, all flat buttons. Much better actually. Obviously the DualSense now kind of needs the triggers for the adaptive triggers, but doesn't that look strange compared to what we got now with no analog sticks? Then obviously you got this, so you have the black back part of that. So it's the PS1 disc, then the memory card. What does it say on the back? Yeah, something, and then the PlayStation mouse. Can't interact with that. I guess these are things that you can get. So, and that's obviously the ball mouse that you used to have. And then the multi-tap, never had this, never needed to use it. I didn't play any multiplayer PlayStation 1 stuff. It was mostly watching my sister and dad play games like Abe and Crash, which is and things like that, which is where my nostalgia came from. And then obviously watching my dad play Metal Gear as well. And then this is the DualShock. What did it say? Sorry, the DualShock controller. So these were designed for Ape Escape. That's actually me moving the analog sticks, by the way. And like these buttons, I think that's very cool. And then compress those, that's nice. This Tamagotchi thing, we never had them, I don't know anything about them, but you can get those. The PS1, I don't actually know what the difference is between this and the one that we have, and this is like a Japanese version, or a slim version. I guess this is slimmer than the thing, but this was called PS1 and not PlayStation 1, so there's a small difference there. Then the LCD monitor, can't turn the screen on, but as you can see it connects to back of your PlayStation. PlayStation 2, just got the disc, got this one downstairs. So that's got some, I never realised that had USB slots on it, but yeah, that's got USB slots. You'll see the back, so that's cool. And then DualShock 2, oops, I didn't mean to do that. DualShock 2, which is really similar to DualShock 1, it's just obviously these buttons are a bit bigger, that's why obviously the trigger started to get bigger in terms of buttons. PS2 game disc, which was blue, I have plenty of them in this room. PS2 memory card, 8 megabytes, so games were getting a bit bigger, obviously nowhere near as big as today's games. I love looking through this stuff, I really do. PS2 multi-tap, it's just awkward, it's an awkward version of the first one, but hey, it served the same purpose. So you can have 4 memory cards in this thing. Interesting. Then the network adapter, I know nothing about this apart from that it is a network adapter. So you probably plug that in, obviously the back of the PlayStation 2, and then a LAN cable. iTool camera, overrated I think. Had some decent games, but it was a bit of an early concept of your sort of like PlayStation VR Connect type of game, I suppose. My friend had one, I went over to his house, and yes, as I'm speaking, that is coming up. So if I... Sorry if that was annoying. Yep, so does that. That's pretty cool that that's got a voice integration. I think that's kind of nice. Did I play SingStar? I don't remember playing much of SingStar, but I think I remember some friends playing it or something. There was a friend's house I used to go over to quite a bit, and he had this kind of stuff. This is the one that I got in the back bedroom, but I have got this silver one. Not that there's that much difference. Slim version of the PS2. I think I prefer the bigger one. Yeah, I think I kind of prefer the bigger one. Don't know why, I just do, but yeah, it's quite a good version. This is the Buzz game. I played that a few times, as I mentioned. I know I'm kind of showing off everything twice, but this is like me twisting stuff around and whatever. So, yeah. PlayStation Portable. That's not really an analog stick, but anyway. This was probably the first console where you could, because this thing at the side, right? How that works is if you flick the button up once, it put your Vita PSP into like a standby mode, almost the way that we sort of suspend games today. It worked the exact same way, and it was kind of like standby, and it did obviously use a bit of power, but I found that really, really useful. And then if you press and hold it, it fully switches it off. But I think that's the first gaming thing maybe that did that. Oops. And again, you can kind of do that sort of stuff. It was good. I like my my PSP. It's very, very good. UMD, which is like a disc in a case that you slot into your console. You'd put them. Oops, I can't quite twist it. You put them in that way, obviously, with the art facing outwards. How I'm twisting all this around, by the way, is obviously motion controlled through my, that's a better way to put it, through my controller. PlayStation camera, don't know much about them, never used them, but I think there were some AR games or maybe something you could use, but still. PSP microphone, that might have been for some games or something. The mic is there, I guess. Quite big, but early concept stuff. Yep, GPS receiver, so you could contact NASA or whatever. I don't know anybody that used that. PSP Go, not, yeah, just get a PSP. Much better than... This actually looks very, very clunky. Yeah, like the buttons are at the back. Yeah, that looks. I don't like the PSP Go. No, I don't like it. PS3. I can't say whether or not I prefer this to the other ones because I've never had a slim PS3, but I guess this is cool. It's quite surprisingly heavy. Out of all the consoles I've got, it's probably the heaviest. I would say this is maybe equal, if not heavier, than the PS5. I never actually opened this slot, but that's for like SD cards and stuff. I don't know anybody that used that, but it's there. DualShock 3, same stuff, but this is where we get into, obviously that button's held down because that's what I'm pressing to zoom in. I just don't like these triggers. Like, no, that's not good. But yeah, got a PlayStation button, that was cool. Bit of an early decent concept for the DualShock 4, but still. Bot charted, so obviously Blu-ray, this is where the back of the discs changed again. Obviously reference to Uncharted, which is out today, by the way. I thought it came out on the 18th, which is next week, Friday. Maybe that's for the US, but it's out now. I plan on seeing it next week with Tom Holland. iCamera, yeah, cool. It's a like second. This is like a PS3 version of the same thing that happened on PS2. So, yep. PS3. Yep, slim version. What the other? It's switched around. No, it's not switched around. From the showcase room. Yeah. Why is this thing totally twisted itself? Couldn't that get stuck? That's my question. Yeah, that feels like I could get stuck. Like, won't slide back the other way, maybe. I don't know anybody that had this. So, yeah. It's alright, I guess, but... I can't twist it. There you go. Move controller, very, very good. Really, really good. I really like the move controls. The only thing that they needed to add to a move controller is some sort of, like, D-pad. Instead of the navigation way that you actually use that. But still quite good. Yeah, played some really good games on it. Never had this navigation thing. I actually don't know anything that it's used for. Whoops. So, yeah. Never had these things. Move controller attachments. As I said, I kind of temporarily skipped the PS3 era. But this is a good... attachments like this should come back to certain games. I know that you can get things for like Farpoint and all that. This is probably for a Resistance game. Obviously a big assault rifle. I like that that's got the navigation controller on it, which I'm guessing you probably use in the game to move around, and then obviously you shoot with the thing. PlayStation Vita, yep, best one, I think. Got 2 analog sticks, which is good, nice and sleek. But just that back touch pad is not good. Game cartridge. I wonder if Nintendo looked at this and was like, okay, this is how we're going to do the Switch ones, because it's basically the same. But yeah, that's cool. And then, why is this completely... Hang on, one second. Alright, there we go. Yep, that's what I have in front of me. That's the PS4. It's a bit pointy, but it's quite a sleek design still. I think things improved from PS2 to PS4, but not PS2 to PS3. So, there's a DualShock 4. Can you see that I'm pressing the little touchpad? Then you've got the analog sticks. Quite nice. And again, better triggers. They've got actual arc things on them at the end. PS4 Slim. Excuse me. I'm not sure about that. I've never used this, so I don't have the experience of it. But those buttons seemed a bit crammed in there, don't they? Yeah, the power button and the eject button. So, and obviously you've got two USB slots. You could probably put some more stuff on there actually. There's like a big gap there. Yep. Then the camera. This is not the one that I've got. Guessing that had a stand there. I've not properly looked at this thing before. Yeah. Mine has got 2 lenses on them. Anyway, then the VR headset. Okay, you can still do the light up thing, but you can't view the thing. These things are really, really light. That's exactly what it looks like. And it's got all the little things in there. So if you're ever curious as to what the inside of the VR thing looked like, that's it. And then the processor unit, which I've mentioned. That's nice that you can like hide those wires away, I guess. But yeah, mine on this section's got a one dot instead of that line. Obviously there's the back. PS4 Pro. Where's the power? Oh, yeah, the power thing's like the bar on the... Oh, I didn't know I could zoom it into different levels. That's that adaptive trigger coming into play. That was a bit funny. I think the PS4 is probably the best. The original PS4 is the best designed out of the three of the Pro and the Slim ones. And that was for Farpoint, I think. Farpoint was alright. I didn't finish it, but it's a fine game. And then the big boy, the PS5. So you put a little screw thing in there that you get with your stand to put that on, and obviously it does actually, mine's currently sitting like that, obviously straight, but yep, says the USB-C, USB slot, then if I can do it, see if I can, right, there's the back. I don't quite understand. So you've got USB-C slot, which I haven't got anything that plugs into something. Because I've got my headphones charger, but that's USB to USB-C, and then the USB-C plugs into the headphone charger that I've got that charges it, so it doesn't even work that way. And then you've got the USB. I don't quite understand why there's two on the back. I'd rather you take them two off the back and then put them in between the two buttons, so the power and the eject, and then them, so I can reach them better. But I'm guessing those two slots are for things like the camera that you might want to plug in, or if you've got like, yeah, that kind of stuff. I don't know, but yeah, they could have quite easily moved those two out from the back, put those in the front, kept the USB-C one there, and at the back there put a normal PS4 VR plug thing, rather than buying a free adapter that you can get, which I still haven't got one of those, but I just don't understand why you couldn't put the PS4's camera thing on the back instead of needing an adapter. But anyway, that's like my only complaint about it. Then the DualSense, so I'm moving the DualSense with the DualSense. And then of course you've got your adaptive triggers, and then your big, these buttons are actually fairly big, but that's quite good. Then you got, I don't know if you can see that moving, touchpad thing. This D-pad's quite nice, it's nice and big. Then you got that. I wonder if I press, oh shit. Yeah, it does do it. Obviously I can't talk when it's like that. But that's exactly, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. So that's a nice touch. I accidentally pressed the PlayStation, the PS button. I don't really mind what the PS button looks like. I mean, you've got the different versions from PS3, 4 and 5. I've never found them awkward, either on the PS3, 4 or 5. I've never found the buttons awkward, even on the Vita and stuff like that. So, yeah. Then you got your HD camera, which is probably just for streaming. I don't think that this reads the Move controllers and VR. I don't think it senses them. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. There you go. And then you've got your wireless headphones, which nobody needs because they're just fancy headphones. I mean, these headphones that I've got on right now that I'm recording with are quite good. Power button, headphone jack in case you want it wired, charger, mute button, volume, off monitor, and then chat and game, I guess the switch between different volumes. And then I'm guessing that little that little dot at the top there's probably a microphone. But I have used wireless headphones like this, and I just found them very awkward. To have the buttons on the headphones, which is what this has got, because I've got like a slider volume thing on these headphones, but it's halfway down the wire for the headphones, which I just prefer. It's like if I'm playing a game or recording a podcast and it's a bit too loud, I can just put my hand straight on the slider thing, just slide it up and down, as opposed to pressing the buttons and stuff. So yeah, and then we're back to the glory days with the PlayStation 1 3-dimensional Big Bang. Yeah, and you even got shadows and stuff. That's kind of cool. Never touch. What does that say? Never touch the lens. I think that's that little glass thing there. And then the good old memory cards. Yeah. Alright, that's everything. That is Astro's Playroom. I will be doing a review of this game. I have a lot of really, really good things to say about this game. I need to turn that PS4 off because that's gonna bug me. Sure. Alright, just one more time for these good old glory days. Let's see this one more time. Is he actually watching that? Oh, he is, isn't he? That's cool. And then he gets bored and plays with Vita. Alright. What else can I show you all? I mean, I'm not going to go through show you all the references. I guess I'll show you all one of the references. So let's go. Oh, which is the PS1 world? Actually, no, I'm going to show you all the Crash Bandicoot one, seeing as he's my favourite PlayStation character. Basically, he is here, I think. I've recorded a little video before showing him, but let's do it on the stream. So he is right down here. Crash Bandicoot doing his crash dance. I'm going to show you one more. It's one of these 4 levels. I'm not going to tell you what it's for. This is another PlayStation 1 classic character. I think it's that level, that part of that level. It's sort of like right at the start. So take a guess as to who that is. That is Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Could somebody take a photo of this character and send it to Konami and ask them if they remember who this guy is? Because even though if they announce tomorrow morning that Metal Gear Solid's coming back, unless it's a remaster of the original game, which I would play, you can't do a new Metal Gear Solid game without Kojima. You just can't. They already tried and it didn't work. But I think this guy, I mean, the sounds alone, so even things like that alert sound, are some of the most iconic things in gaming. Even the sounds of like Solid Snake's footsteps are iconic. I mean, you just this is what I mean when you talk about like Crash, Spyro, Metal Gear, Tomb Raider, all these other kind of things. It's just it's classic PlayStation. It really, really is, and it's brilliant. A couple more I want to. I know I said I won't show too many. I want to show a couple more actually, which are from. I think it's this one. There is 1, 2, there's 3 more that I'm going to show and then I will end this video. Right, so let me just pull this out. climb up here. Right. That character climbing, that is Tomb Raider. She's got her dual-wielded pistols with her hair in the ponytail, and she's making the classic awkward PS1 jumps. And then she just jumps back and forth over and over again, but that makes a lot of sense. That one's really cool. I'm gonna have to go through a little bit of this. Let's go through the whole. Let me just quickly have a look at that. Let's get that loading time real quick. Can I go? Oh, I can't go back that way. So I have to go back here. I'm gonna have to go through a bit of the level to show you all these next two, but I really want to show them. These are little triggers. I'm not going to show you who that one is. Ah, bastard. I felt that jump a couple of times. It's an awkward one. There's another one over there, but I won't show you that one. Oh, you bastard. I have to get through this part to show you all something. Got our bow and arrow. Which has got haptic feedback resistant. And we go through here. Oh, there's another one. There is. You can see my aiming is immaculate. Oh, I have to do a mini bloody boss fight. I'll have to go through all of this as well. Here's some more of our plant, thank you. Shit. Right into toss. These references will be worth it, don't worry. sure it's this way. Oh shit. What? Thank you. Wow. Nope, I've gone to the wrong part. Is it here? It's in the jungle area somewhere. Yeah, it's this way. Sorry about that, everybody. Hey, got to see some gameplay. Right. Way of doing this backwards. Right, so this is a bit of a Naughty Dog. This is a bit of a Naughty Dog level, actually. That is Uncharted. That's Nathan Drake. Film is out now, apparently. Doing his climbing, doing his shooting. Quite like the sound effect there. It's pretty cool. But basically, when you play this game, what you look out for is this blue guy who's got camera and a hat and stuff, and where he's filming things. Those are like specific references. So that's Uncharted. And he's slipping off. And that's the plane from Uncharted 1, I think. And if we go back this way, we can avoid these things. Try and take a guess. Try and take a guess as to what this is for. This is for a game that came out. Well, it's technically for the first game, I suppose, but it can be for either, really. Yeah, that is Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us. So he's got a brick, which obviously you can use to distract enemies in both games. You can also use bottles. That's Ellie, a bit more scared. This is probably Last of Us 1, because obviously Ellie, the 13-year-old version. She's 13 in the first game and 19 in the second game. Not quite the full survivor that she later becomes. Obviously Joel showing her the ways. And then this is supposed to be a clicker with the mushroom head things. I quite like that touch. Obviously it's making little clicking sounds, so that's quite cool. And that's Ellie's, probably Ellie's and Joel's backpack. No, it's Ellie's backpack. It's obviously used to get your items out. And then as we saw earlier, down here, no, over this way, is the Crash reference. So a bit of a Naughty Dog level. Obviously, Crash is now with Activision / Xbox, but Uncharted and Last of Us are still with Naughty Dog. But all three were created by Naughty Dog for PlayStation. But I think that's very, very cool. A bit of a Naughty Dog centric section of the game. I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, we'll leave it here with Crash dancing and Astro waving. I think that's a pretty good way to end things. Let's just take him slightly off the edge. Put him on the same. There we go. Thank you all very much for watching. This was a somewhat lengthy video, but there was lots and lots of really cool stuff to show off here, and I can't wait to dig in more to the gameplay side of things over on my reviews. Hopefully tomorrow, which will be Friday. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. You can find everything that we podcast on entertainmenttalk.org and on podcast platforms. If you want to follow us here on Twitch, that's eTalkUK on Twitch. Give us a follow, be notified when we go live. And if you've missed any of these archive streams, or the gameplay clips and moments and things, YouTube Entertainment Talk plays for all of that. Thank you very much for watching. That's pretty much going to be it for me in Astro until I can one day jump on that PS5. And I'll record that as a clip when that happens or whatever. But I've got to move on to Dying Light 2, which I've got as well. So there's all that. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.